Hey everyone, this is going to be the fastest Azure Quick Hit I've ever done. All we're going to do today is set up an alert that will work inside a subscription to tell you when a new machine has been created in that subscription. It won't trigger on a restart and it won't trigger on a resize. It'll just trigger on a new machine being created. All right, let's get started. From an expectations perspective, we're going to use Advanced Analytics, Log Analytics, and Azure Monitor. Let's open up Log Analytics. Choose a workspace. It can be any workspace in the subscription. This is just where the query is going to be stored. And then we're going to go to log search. And then we're going to go to analytics. This is a great interface. So bear with me for a second while it loads. Open up a new tab. And this is where we're going to type in our query. So we're going to start off with AzureActivity, where OperationName, I love how this auto fills out with all the options, is equal to, and in this case, we're just going to cut and paste this over. What we're looking for here is the write operation, disk write operation, where, in this case, it's a sub-activity, so ActivitySubstatus equals, and this is where the magic happens. We're looking for a specific event, which is this guy here, Control-C, Control-V, status code 2 I want to create, and then we're going to say summarize by count. I'm sorry, that's just summarize count, not summarize by count. Summarize count by, and here we're going to put in the things we want to appear in the email. This is the information from the build. So in my case, I want the resource group, the time generated, and the subscription ID. Make sure you use a little D on the end of subscription ID, otherwise you'll get nothing. And I'm going to click run. And we're going to get 0 because my time query here is last 24 hours. Well, it's actually Sunday today. So if I change that to 7 days and rerun it, we will see all the machines. This is the resource name. You get that from up here, the resource group, the time generated, and the subscription ID. And you can actually use some cool charts here too if you look. So from a chart that just shows the number of machines built when. You can also change that to, for instance, a pie chart. Not terribly useful information because each machine is one piece of pie, but if you split it by time generated, then you can see, oh, okay, I've got 3 of these machines generated on this particular date down here. All right, so that's kind of the end of the query part. Now let's turn this into an alert. So the first thing I want to do is actually save the query. So I'm going to click Save here. I'm going to call it, let's say, Quick Hits, New VM Alert. Saved as a query, and the category, I'm going to put it in one called Audit. You can create these dynamically if you haven't got them set up already. I'm going to click Save, and that will save my query. So now let's go back to Log Analytics. Once the workspace loads, we go to Save Searches. We're going to type in QH here to find the Quick Hits one we just created, Quick Hits and VM Alert. There we go. Click on Run. Just actually don't really need to do that. And now we're going to click on New Alert Rule. And you'll notice here we've got this little red arrow when custom log searches logic undefined. That means it's imported the alert from the log analytics. So if we click on this guy, we'll actually see a result here. And down here is where it's important. So the alert logic is based on the number of votes greater than, and the threshold is 0. Right? So we want to choose anytime it's more than 0. And then here's how frequently you want to run this alert or want to run this check. So I've got it set right now for 5 minutes. and a frequency of 5 minutes. So that means it's going to run every 5 minutes and look back over the last 5 minutes. That probably may be a little bit aggressive, so let's make it 15 minutes and 15 minutes. Okay, click Done. This takes a few seconds to build. And now we can go into the alert details. So we're going to call this one the QH new VM alert. And the description is send me an email every time a new machine is created in my subscription. All right, good for that one. So warning Sev1, I'm going to make this informational. Sev2, enable rule upon creation, yes, and suppress alerts. No, I don't want to suppress my alerts. The action group is the people that are going to be notified when this activity takes place. So I'm going to create a new action group for this. And the action group name is going to be called Quick Hits Action Group. And the short name is going to be QH. My subscription is the correct one. And the resource group, default activity, yeah, I can leave it in there, that's fine. And then the action name. So the first one is going to be email. And the action type is going to be an email push SMS. Okay. And here, I'm going to put in my email address. I could set up as an SMS, in which case I have to put the phone number in. I can use push app notification. We're going to click OK at this point. Okay, I'm not going to add anybody else. And we'll click OK. And I'm going to email in a subject, and the subject is going to be new VM created and monitored by the Quick Hits action group. All right, create the alert rule, and we're off to the races. So here you can see you've created our alert rule. So the next thing is, let's prove this thing works. So I'll close down these blades. And I'm not going to make you sit through the pain of me setting up a new machine. So I'll pause it and come back when the machine is built. Okay, so my new machine called Andrea is up and running. And now it's just a question of waiting for about 15 minutes until the logs make their way into the log analytics workspace. And then we should get an email. So bear with me. Okay, super cool. I just got my alert. So here's the information. That's the name of the alert we created. That's the search interval duration every 15 minutes, one result. And down here, here's the parameters from the query, right? The resource is Andrea, that's the name of the computer. The resource group is A-LogQuery in this case, the time generated, and my subscription ID. How cool is that? Now, one other thing we can look at is if you go to Azure Monitor and we click on alerts, you will actually see two alerts here if we change it and go to the correct subscription, that is. There we go. Do a refresh. And we can see two alerts. So if we click on this guy here, why have we got two alerts? Well, because I've actually created this query twice. So I've got it written. One was the query I wrote initially, and the second one was one we just recreated for you guys. If I click on that and open it up, you will see here's the alert when a new created VM. That's one I did off the start. And here's the one we just created. So we can click on that guy, and we can actually see the details of the alert. So that's it for now. Hope you find this useful. I'll put a copy of the query in the little text box beneath the video. Any comments, feedback, questions, queries, quandaries, please leave them. Thanks very much. Bye for now.